Hi. Well, I don't know how to start this with. Well, okay, see this first. Just see this first. Okay, so China sends a message. Let's go to the moon together. China unveils 10 selected international cooperation projects from countries and regions for Chang'e 8 lunar probe mission by around 2029. So it's part of China's Phase 4 lunar exploration program. Okay, so that's what happened. So there are some African countries in there, and there are South Africa, and there's the Egypt in there. So these two African countries are my most target or my most where I have to talk about them because China is going to the moon, and they are actually sending 8 countries together with Egypt and South Africa being from Africa being part of this whole big mission right here. And I should say it's actually beautiful, and I'm glad that China is actually taking things into consideration and making Africa being part of these great initiatives. And now I actually agree to the people who actually praise China sometimes though, because China is actually beautiful and they understand cooperation with their closest allies. Okay, that's beautiful. Now, this one says, no doubt China is a progressive nation and a great growth companion for any nation. Well, that's so true though. Actually making your build friends or some couple of countries join you to this great mission is actually commendable. I think China is actually great with that one. China is good. Well, again, this one says, for taking South Africa, my country, to the moon, thank you, China. My Chinese name is Yuda Shishi. Well, that's South African though. He is saying that he's actually happy to see that, and he's happy that China is taking South Africa to part of this whole issue. Again, this one says, thank you from Pakistan. China always proved to be a brother to Pakistan. Okay, now that's it. Okay, that is Pakistanis also actually showing their gratitude to China making this move. Again, South African came and says, so happy for South Africa. Thank you, China. And again, this one says, unlike Americans, the Chinese don't carry the arrogance of it's either you or me, not both. China has a strong track record of engaging friendly nations in its initiatives. Well, that is, it seems like most people were happy to see this great initiative by China, and they were actually applauded, happy to see that China is actually doing a collaboration with various allies or friends countries and making them being part of this great history that's going to be making. That's so beautiful to see. Great, 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 great news from China right there. And big congratulations to Egypt and then South Africa and all 8 countries that were actually being able or being part of this initiative. Now, how about we actually dive inside and see what is actually happening between the China space program thing, okay? So shared by Space News, they say China selects international payloads for Chang'e 8 lunar South Pole mission. So announced 10 international projects for its 2028-2029 Chang'e mission, including rovers, robots, and scientific instruments. Now let's dive inside. So China has chosen payloads from a range of international partners to fly on the country's Chang'e 8E lunar South Pole mission, expanding its space diplomacy. So China National Space Administration officially announced the selection April 24th of cooperation projects for the Chang'e 8 mission scheduled to launch in 2028-2029, selecting 10 projects from 11 different countries, regions, and 1 international organization. It follows a 2023 announcement of opportunities to collaborate in Chang'e 8, in which 2,000 kilometers of payload resources were made available. Okay, so it says chosen payloads include multifunctional robots, rovers, and instruments for astronomy and analyzing particles, images, and a laser restore reflector. The mission will include a Chinese rover, a Pakistani rover, and for the first time in Chinese lunar mission, micro rovers jointly developed by a Turkish university, a Chinese university, and a private company. The selection includes a number of countries that have already signed up to the China-led International Lunar Research Stations, the ILRS, an initiative that seeks to establish a robotic moon base which will eventually host visiting astronauts. So that is the whole issue concerning this issue. China's mission to the moon, to the South Pole. Okay, that is actually impressive here. So China is actually collaborating with some different countries, and every country is actually coming on board, not just to be spectators, but they are actually bringing expertise and wise people in the astronomies or the space program or the space initiative, or have not enough knowledge on the space programs to also establish their point of view. So it's not just anybody that actually said it. It's a collaboration with highly individuals or highly knowledgeable individuals on all these projects or these programs to help boost the whole emissions. So China is actually doing a great collaboration right here. And I'll say big congratulations to every country mentioned here, and also big thanks to China for making this a reality, and also big shout outs to the African countries that got to be to be part of this issue. That is Egypt and South Africa. The name is Vadashi. Thank you for your time. See you guys around, and you guys should have a great time researching, discussing, and then also being out there in the moon. Thank you.